Summer sun and sold signs, says Sheri Willick. A little alliteration there for you this morning. But all kidding aside, seller's market, let's start with the bench price comparisons here.
Sure, yeah. Once again, I feel like we say this all the time, but we hit another record benchmark price in Saskatoon at, I believe it was $446,000. And just for in comparison, I know we're a larger city than Regina, but Regina's benchmark pricing is at $356,000. So that gives you kind of an idea of how Saskatoon's been doing lately.
No kidding. We do sound like a broken record over and over and over again. But we do want to give you some new information, some different things to consider in a seller's market. Sellers, we want to give them some tips and tricks, not just for showings, but the listing process. Where do we start with that?
Well, sure. So, often I'll get a phone call from someone and say, Sheri, I want to sell my house soon, but I'm not ready for you to see it. And usually that's because maybe they hadn't cleaned it enough yet, or there was a little reno that they hadn't quite finished or didn't, meant to do a long time ago. And I always say to them, no, I'm not judging you. If you saw my own house, you would know I'm not judging you. Let me in before you do all the things so that we can make sure you're doing the right things.
Right, because certain parts of the house, maybe a reno might be a good idea. And other places, the new owners, no matter how much you like it, probably might not, right?
Well, and truthfully, like a massive clean and good decluttering go a long way rather than necessarily having to redo an entire floor in a space, right?
Right, yeah, and then you pick a color that a prospective buyer might not have liked, yada, yada, yada. So what are some of those things that you should consider maybe doing or tweaking?
Well, we've talked a lot about curb appeal and how important that is. So one of those things is definitely your front door and front entrance. So if you've got a dog that scraped at that door so much over the years, yeah, well, maybe you want to paint that door, maybe you want to replace it, because people will feel that when they come in. And if you've got a living room that's a little darker, add an extra light in there, have it on for showings. Doesn't mean you have to redo the whole living room to make it brighter,
Right, no, I love that for sure. And then bathrooms, kitchens, I mean, we always know those are kind of the ones to do if you're going to do something.
Sure, but they're also the most expensive. So if you're not, it's got to be cost effective to do it too, right? And honestly, a lot of buyers have made up their mind by a feeling before they've even seen your kitchen.
Okay.
Because it's how they felt as they were walking into it.
It's fascinating, isn't it? All right, well, lots of great tips, and I know you've got so many more. We just haven't got time for them today, but if you want to reach out to Sheri, she's around. SheriWillick.com is the best way to find her.